Ryan and I worked together on kind of coming up with this idea of some random guy just stopping to pee and peeing on something. We weren't sure what it was, and we pitched the idea to a friend of ours during this kind of writing process for the 48. And we kind of came up with this story of a young couple that ventures with their little son on a road trip from Ohio to South Dakota. And all along the way, the main character struggles with pee freeze. He can't ever pee. He tries to stop and he tries to pee. He tries to stop, tries to pee. Eventually, his wife gives him a muscle relaxer. He says to take only half, and we don't see him take only half. He takes the whole pill. And journeys along down the road trying to pee one more time. Eventually, he finds himself in a field, and he gets scared because this kind of strange man pops up out of the field right in front of him, which then causes him to urinate in this man's face. And they both have this moment together where they're scared and whatnot. Now the muscle relaxer's kicking in, and eventually, by the time the movie ends, the muscle relaxer has weared so much on this guy that we find him finally closing the film out, standing in a field, relaxed, and finally in relief. We had a great team. We had about 14 people that helped make the project happen. We knew pretty quickly that you got a certain title or a certain genre, and then you had these elements that you had to fill in. And we lined up some locations in advance, things that we were going to shoot in regardless if we knew what the story was or not. And then we just kind of made road trip happen through this dark comedy. And yeah, it really was a good team effort. Everybody kind of played their part. I love comedy. I do a lot of comedy on stage where there's a lot of interaction from the audience, so improv shows and things like that, or stand-up. But when it comes to film, I actually prefer the more serious, the more drama-related roles. I think that's a lot of comics relate to that role, that more serious, that more kind of brought down a little bit, less zany and wacky and wild. And I think it showcases maybe some of their inner parts of life that they struggle with or that they wrestle with. And comedy is one big show. And you have to get laughs, you know, you have to, that's the end-all goal. With some of our other up-top projects, we've brought Molly in as an on-camera talent, and pretty quickly when we would cut from set, we could see that there was a sense of humor, there was a likability, and she's very talented, obviously, in general. So having her on set was a blast. We actually used her family home as one of the locations, and we were able to cruise around for like 14 hours that day. Getting to know her a little bit more and getting the opportunity to work alongside of her as an actor was just a blast. She does really good with improv, she's very funny. It's very easy to watch on film. When we found out that we were in the Twin Cities Film Fest, we peed our pants. Just pretty, no, I'm kidding, we didn't pee our pants. We were pumped up. We high-fived. We were at a coffee shop, I think, when we got the information. We were editing a project. We high-fived each other. We were ecstatic. Like, there's a lot of people that have asked us, can we see the film? And we know they're local. And so this will now give us a great opportunity to say, yeah, come on out and check out the project.